please shake things up a little. Like, I love dick pics, I do. But you gotta learn how to take a nice dick pic. Like, please don't take a dick pic that's just like from the top. Like, what am I looking at?
So when you say from the top,
What do
you
you
mean
mean by
like
the
head
top?
down or
yeah,
the shaft
yeah.
up or
No, like from the head down. Like, so it's just the head, and I'm like, well, where is it?
Only
It's like I'm staring into the abyss.
It's just the tip?
the eye of Sauron.
Yeah, I've literally received that. Yeah, it's an eye of Sauron. Yeah.
Eye of Sauron.
You can see inside. Is that what you wanted?
Don't do that. Don't do
Like,
that at all.
That's a medical
be a little
picture.
artful. Yeah. That's kind of how
doctor.
it feels.
What's his dick like? Like a baby's arm holding a palantir.
Yeah. Like, be proud of your dick pics. Please, like, put some art into it.
And welcome into this episode of the Deaths Podcast. I'm your host, Atramentum _X, Fry streamer and YouTuber. This is episode 42, and it's all about taking good lewds. What's that mean? It means finding that right angle, making it spicy, and sometimes even potentially making content from it. With me, as always, my co-host, Lady Mystique. Say hi, Mystique.
Hi, everyone.
Mystique, do you want to give the listeners a little introduction?
Hey, everyone. I'm Lady Mystique, aka that pink bint that's always here. I stream over on Twitch. Sometimes I'm kind of on my way back from hiatus, and I make audio, visual, and sometimes streaming pornography on Fansly. So, yeah, check me out. All of my links are at ladymystique.tv.
Thank you very much, Mystique. Mystique, as always, is our co-host for tonight's podcast, and we do appreciate her greatly.
Thank
We're
you,
gonna
thank
do
you.
some introductions for our panel here. We're going to go from next to me to, starting with Podge.
Hi, I'm Podge. I am a Goblin Maid VTuber, V-singer, ASM artist, live 2D rigger, and spicy content creator. I do both VTubing and IRL porn, for lack of a fancier term, over on Fansly, as well as streaming on Twitch, and I have a lot of my music on YouTube.
Mm.
Ooh, yeah.
And yes, I am diddling Atra's fingers with my beans right now.
Ow, hey, cold, stop it.
The tongue is just perfect.
Podge has been on this podcast more times than I can count. Actually, I can count, but I forgot to count. But Podge has been on here quite
It's
a
like
bit.
4.
Like 4?
Like 4, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which puts Podge up there among some of our most frequent guests on the show. We always very much appreciate their perspective.
Yeah, that's why he needs me. I can count to 4.
Yeah.
I can only count to 4.
Thank goodness.
I've got 2 issues. Number 1, I don't know left from right because I'm a lefty IRL, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm just like, I don't know who's next to me. And I can't do math. One of those 2 things. We're gonna go up to the video screen in the sky with a what's that? That's a one hell of a model there. Looks
I
you're
know,
from
right?
Josh
Such a
Dreeman.
premium looking model.
The rigging is so lifelike.
Well,
Josh,
I'm Josh Dreeman. I do for the type of content we're talking about. I do OF. I've been doing OF for a couple of years now. I'll do things from like voice content to nudity, all of that fun jazz. But I also do a lot of content when it comes to like Twitch. I do TikTok type of stuff on Reels. Doing a lot of like affirmation voicey like ASMR content. And that's me.
You guys know him. You guys love him. You've seen him on Twitter, or almost for certain. It's Josh. We're very glad to have you
the
on,
new
Josh.
haircut looks great.
Thank
Yes, it's got the short hair.
you. Yeah, I need to cut off all my locks. it was too much.
Next up, we've got Andy Bun.
Hello, I'm Andy. I am an ASM artist and a lewd tuber. I do IRL content as well as mainly VR content. I also do audio and visual ASMR and role plays and stuff. And you can find me on Twitch and Twitter and TikTok and Blue Sky and all the things in Fansly.
Andy
Also,
Les-
one of the sexiest voices in the world.
Andy Les joined us on the VR episode, which we had directly from virtual reality. We're glad to have Andy back in. Andy stepped into this episode at the last minute to fill in for the lovely Casey, who due to time zones was not able to join us today, but will join us in the future. Yeah, so
I'm
to
very
get us
honored
started,
to be here.
absolutely. So to get it started, chat, there is a link here. If you want to ask anything anonymously, you can use this link. So it won't tell your identity or anything like that. How do you spell anonymous? You know,
ANONYMOUS.
honestly, it's three things I can't do. Can't spell.
You could
can't
just
do
write
math.
Anon.
I did. That's what I did. I wrote anon. So chat, you can ask questions in chat. You can send it in via that link, and I'll find out about it. Or yeah, we've got some prepared questions as well. So let's talk a little bit about spontaneity. So speaking from my personal experience, like I usually don't plan to take lewds. I don't do a lot of IRL content. It just so happens that I might get out of the shower, think I look pretty good, and snap. So my question for chat here, not chat, our panel here, sorry, I'm discombobulated. Yeah, chat, you too, actually, sure. Do you consider yourself more spontaneous with your shoots and thirst traps, or is it more of a deliberate production on your part? A bit of both?
Ooh.
I do both.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
both.
I've been a professional cosplayer for about 20 years. So for me, I'll get like spontaneous ideas, but I don't usually execute them right away because there's like a lot that will go into some of those ideas, whether it's like costumes or if I'm actually like on a photo set. Like I just did a shoot in a blood pool.
Ooh.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, it was great. So a lot of my stuff has to be pre-planned, but then I also do like the spontaneity of like, sometimes I'll just go outside in my backyard and be like, I'm not wearing any pants. It's time to take some pictures because I'm a freak like that. But for the most part, like I try to pre-plan stuff because I want to have a good variance in my content too.
I
I
have.
love me. Oh. I was gonna say I love me a good selfie, like a good I'm laying in bed, I'm feeling sexy, and I'll snap a quick photo like that. But I will, with like the fact that I have to like get into VR and and put all of my stuff on it, I do have to plan a little bit more and then like have somewhat of an idea because VR can get so big
Yeah,
that
like
you
we
can
have
do
to
so many things.
we
that
have
I
to strap like 6 different trackers to our bodies.
Yeah.
No
So
spontaneity in
then,
VR, yeah.
yeah, there is to an extent, but like it can be overwhelming sometimes to have so much ability to do so many like fantasy type things that I have to really plan for when I'm doing VR stuff because otherwise I will start to panic and then I just won't do anything.
It's funny you mentioned the bed thing because like I will wake up, realize I have morning wood. I'm like, where's my phone?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes I'm
Yeah,
like, my
same.
hair is tousled just right.
Exactly. The golden hour. The hair's tousled just right. You're rock hard. Just where's it?
I also think it adds a little bit to the especially on like Fansly and OnlyFans, it adds to the like more fan service aspect of it, which is what a lot of people, when they're coming to pay for porn on those sites, they do want more of like a personal type experience, and that does feel more like, ooh, I'm getting like nudes from like my girlfriend or boyfriend as opposed to like I'm just watching a porn star's video on Pornhub. It's a little bit more personal, and I think people tend to like that.
I could definitely second that. Like, I try to if I'm gonna post like a really planned out like big spicy cosplay thing, I'll do it like once a month or once every 2 months. But like most of my stuff is very like selfie style, like around the house, big T-shirt, sort of, like a day in the life kind of stuff.
But say that's kind of like how mine is, to be honest. Like I'll wake up in the morning and I'm like, yeah, I look pretty good today. Like, when you said that, I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yep.
I get out of the shower, I'm like, yeah, damn, look at me dripping wet. Perfect. Snap that for Twitter and for OF. That's how I tend to do mine. I feel like it brings that like more like personal kind of experience to it. And yeah, no, I agree with that. That's how I do mine.
Oh my god, he's just like me, for real.
Sometimes the phone is in the shower.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For me, because I don't do any kind of IRL stuff at all. I think I'm probably the only one on the panel who doesn't. When I'm in VR, if I'm doing a shoot or if I'm just like world hopping and looking for locations for shoots in the future, sometimes I'll see like a nice thing that won't really fit into anything else, or like I'll think of something on the spot when I'm doing a shoot, and I'll just snap a picture and it'll be like a one-off, and I have a folder of little one-offs that I can just post whenever that don't really fit into anything else. But it means that if I'm feeling like posting something, I always have like a bunch of stuff to choose from.
Yeah, you gotta have the backlog.
The backlog,
Yeah.
the back shots, yeah.
Yeah, the back shots.
See, I can't do that because like I'll take it and forget about it. Then I'll be opening my phone to show somebody something, and it's like, oh.
I'm
Morning
seeing
wood.
her at work.
Oh,
like,
no one
"Ugh."
looks at my phone. No one
Nice
looks at
to meet you, bro.
I don't want to jump scare anyone with my titties, that's always a shock.
Yeah. Nobody likes the titty jump scare. Definitely not me. We've got a question here from Marshmallow. So the question is, when taking photos on your own with a phone, what can you recommend to improve the quality beyond getting better equipment?
You can literally like improve your shots for $20 or less by getting one of those ring light stands from Walmart. It's got a phone holder and a ring light, and it also has a way to do hands-free photos. I have found that infinitely useful. Plus, you can do any color of lighting. If you wanna step it up a notch, get two, because 2-point lighting is always going to be better than single-point lighting. But your phone camera, like phones these days, you could get a photo that looks like it was taken on a professional camera using a phone. It's all about lighting and angle and like framing. So I would research, photography techniques and hit up Walmart, because they got like the little streamer section that's got all the fun little ring lights and bar lights and everything. And they're actually surprisingly inexpensive.
They have a streamer section?
Yeah,
God,
like,
Yeah, and like
that's
where like
everything.
the phones and PCs and stuff are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you explain for our viewers what 2-point lighting is?
Okay, so I'm a theater major. So single point lighting is literally just having one light on you. Imagine you have a light directly in front of you, which I don't recommend. Put that baby off at an angle, make some fun shadows. But say you've got 2-point lighting, is where literally you have two lights at two different angles on you. And it's more effective when those lights are different colors. In theater, you typically use orange and blue because they're complementary. But you can do the same thing with red and green, yellow and purple. I don't recommend yellow and purple. It doesn't treat skin tones very nicely, but orange and blue is typically pretty great. It gives you really dynamic lighting, really interesting shadows, and it doesn't leave you with really harsh shadows on your face. And then you can even go up to 3-point lighting, where you have a light behind you that's called a fill light, which is usually white. And that just helps kind of to either illuminate the background or create like a more like gentle effect, I guess. Because if the light's just coming at you, your background's going to be very dark. So It depends what you're going for. It depends what kind of like mood you're looking for. But these things are like very easily Googleable. And I highly recommend you give it a shot because you'll notice like almost an instant improvement in your photos.
Wow. Thank you for the awesome answer, actually. I think I've learned something there.
Yeah, that was spot on.
Yeah, so now when you wake up with morning wood, it'll be like, where is my 2-point lighting?
Yeah.
Where are all my funky lights?
The sun counts as a light source too. Use
Yeah.
the sun.
And the
I'll
sun
get a
is
headlamp
always
for my
a
pee-pee
great
and
light
it's
source.
3
points.
iPhones, if you have an iPhone, they also have a section where you can take raw photos. So you can go into the iPhone, and I have to pull it up. I don't use it very often. Where's my camera? Okay. Up at the top, and then if you scroll over to the side, there is a way to like be able to change your exposure and the where'd it go?
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of editing features. I know on Android there's like a portrait light thing too, where it'll like create an artificial secondary light source.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, so it just there's I lost it. But there is ways to like change what your aperture and exposure is in the iPhone, and then with Android there's even more. And then just going through and like changing that with while you're taking photos and testing that out. And that will help with like changing the quality of things too quite a bit.
Yeah, it's very important to like sort of mess with those like settings on your phone. Because I like this is not even related to like, loot stuff. Like when I'm taking photos of my food, like just changing the lighting up to something a bit warmer makes it look a lot less like washed out. And even like for skin color, like if you have darker skin tones like I do, like you absolutely have to like use the features like, lighten, not lighten. There's a skin tone feature that I use too that like sort of like corrects my skin color so it's not so washed out as well. All these available on your phone, so make sure you use them because we would want to get washed out, so to speak. Also lighting, like turn those lights on.
Also, when taking dick pics, like, please don't take them on the toilet, because like I got a dick
my
rating
God.
request, and I was like, okay, you can send me a picture or like a short video of you coming or whatever, and he was like, great, and he sent me a video of himself sitting on the toilet, down, like angled down, basically into the toilet.
No.
No.
And then-
so many jerk
and
off
then
videos
just
into the
pr-
toilet.
Yeah, just pressed his
bad.
dick against the seat and came all over the seat and floor. It was disgusting. So, like,
Why did you put that
not-
into my head?
Brother.
yeah, so not doing that is like a great way to take lewd shots.
All right.
Yeah,
Better
you know,
tell my notes,
environment.
Don't do that.
For whoever asked this
terrible.
question, 2-point lighting, better lighting, mess with your phone settings, and don't come on the toilet.
Yeah, please.
Just like
That's a good tip.
don't take lewds in front of your toilet. Just in
Yeah,
general.
toilets aren't sexy.
Or edit the toilet out.
Edit toilet out. That's
You're just-
if there's one good case use for generative AI, it's to edit toilets out.
it's
of
to
lewds.
edit the toilet out. You know, be mindful about your background, please.
Yeah. Background is and like composition of like where your camera is and where you are in the photo, like that takes a big jump in quality of your photos if you've got a good composition and a good angle as well, like more than just like a good pose.
What do you think, Josh?
What do I think about which part? My
About sitting on the toilet? No, about taking good lewds.
About taking good lewds?
Yeah. So,
mean,
like, do
obviously,
you
lighting and
do
all that
any
stuff
special
is-
lighting stuff? Yeah, or anything like
like-
that?
For like me, whenever I take like let's say like my nudes like in bed or anything like that, like I have a whole like thing of downlights right above me that I can switch all the different tones and colors of. I
That's
do all that,
amazing.
and then I have ring lights that I'll put like near the end of my bed, so I get like actually good like lighting towards me.
Ooh.
I feel like lighting is definitely probably like one of the more like important things when it comes down to it, and yeah, I don't really have much more to say on that then.
That was a lot, actually. I didn't even realize that you sort of had that set up like that.
Yeah, I have so much lighting inside of my room, specifically for that.
Hmm.
And the shower?
And the shower, yes, and the shower. I actually do
Alexa,
have lighting
turn on
inside the
porn
shower. I have like an LED like light right above me that I can actually switch the colors of.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I
so
used
can
to
do,
have one
like,
of those.
red and stuff, so I can like do better like tones just on me while also having another light coming from above like my sink. So I have that light come reflect in, and I have the light above me.
My
'Cause,
IRL
like-
best friend has one of those in his toilet.
In the toilet.
Why?
I don't know.
Gamer
What?
toilet.
Oh god.
Gamer toilet. Like the
Under
global
glow for the toilet.
I don't
He
want to
doesn't
know.
he didn't commission me at some point, did he?
I don't think so. But if he ever did, I'm sure the lighting would be amazing.
So funny.
Speaking of cis men, here's a question that I've got prepared. Cis men are often derided for taking bad lewds, generally focusing too much on cocks and conventional dick pics. Is this an overblown convention, or do men need to shake things up?
Please shake things up a little. Like, I love
Yeah.
dick pics. I do.
Mm.
But you gotta learn how to take a nice dick pic. Like, please don't take a dick pic that's just like from the top. Like, what am I looking at?
So when you
Like,
say from the top,
What do
you
you
mean
mean by
like
the
head
top?
down,
I was
or
yeah,
the shaft
yeah.
up, or
Okay.
No, like from the head down. Like, so it's just the head, and I'm like, well, where is it?
Only
Oh,
two.
so
It's like I'm
just a-
staring into the
So
abyss.
it's just the tip?
the eye of Sauron?
Yeah, I've
just the
literally
meatball.
received that. Yeah, it's an Eye of Sauron. Yeah.
I have Sauron.
You can see inside. Is that what you wanted?
Ugh.
Terrible.
Don't do
Oh.
that. Don't do
Like,
that at all.
That's a
Be a
medical
little
picture.
artful. Yeah. That's
like
kind of
a
how
doctor.
it feels.
What's his dick like? Like a baby's arm holding a Palantir.
Yeah. Like, be proud of your dick pics, please. Like, put some art into it. But I like seeing men's arms.
Mm.
Like, if you give me a dick pic with your arm in it too, I'm just like, whoa.
Or even like it doesn't have to include the dick to be sexy.
Yeah.
Like I think Josh is very much a not a connoisseur. What's the other one?
Maestro.
Yes, something like that. He make pictures goodly like this.
Pictures real good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
mhm.
on like Twitter, most of the time I just post a lot of lewds with like good angling. Like that's what I
Mhm.
like try to do more like makes you wanting more, I guess, whenever I
Yeah.
do like mine. I'll do like my videos, right? I'll cut it off
Mhm.
just at the moment you're about to see something. Like, I don't know, I think that's a little bit hotter than just seeing penis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, give me the
Mhm.
rolled up sleeve.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just that rolled up sleeve, I guess.
Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
there it is.
That's
Look
what
at
I'm
the
talking
gun
about. That's the look.
And Atra, you also do this very well, where you're not like just here's a dick, but like I don't know, you make more of your body, and I think that guys need to learn to love their bodies more. Like if they're, especially if they're like, oh, I'm a bit skinny, or oh, I'm a bit husky, or oh, I've got a dad bod. Like
Good.
yeah, you have no idea how much we don't care if you don't meet the sort of Hollywood ideal that is presented to us. Like you
The
are sexy
Abercrombie of
exactly
bitch.
as you are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love dad bods and I love like hairy dudes.
Oh,
So
me too.
Yes. Amen.
like Gib.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from my perspective, like I'm still working on my body image. Like I've only very recently started to do IRL work. So I do make heavy use of angles, chat. Like I've got it posted in certain way that's like basically from waist downwards and sort of like capturing the shaft but not the full thing, and my legs. Like not too much tums in my stuff, but eventually I'll work my way up to it. It just so
Yeah, we'll
happened that
do.
I did one time. Like I didn't like the way my stomach looked, and I'm like, all right, we can just crop that out, and as long as you're
I
happy with
definitely
it,
get
that's what
that.
matters. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll do a shoot when I come over, and we'll like really make the most of you.
Absolutely.
But like the reason that I don't do IRLs is because I suffer hugely about my body image. So like it is a problem. I'm still learning to find my own sexiness.
This is a
It's
great comment
difficult.
in chat from Awesome Acidica. My favorite lewd I've ever seen was my ex-girlfriend. When we were together, it was an over-the-shoulder picture with her phone, but aimed at her mirror, showing off her back muscles. She had a tank top on, but was just enough to see, yet hide.
Mm-hmm.
It's the tease, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I find that a lot of lewds, like, it can be all front, it can be all the naughty bits, but sometimes, like, just showing the back, something that you don't normally see, as long as people think that it's an intimate part of you, like, it will have an effect, especially if they like you.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I have something that I really enjoy, like dick pic wise.
Mm-hmm.
Is speaking of like alluding to it, gray
Alluding.
sweatpants,
Yeah.
boxers,
Oh yeah.
like when you get it hard and you can see that dick print like that. I love when guys will send for ratings and stuff, and they send me like a gray sweatpants pic with their like
Mm.
dick print or something like that. That is something that it shows what we want to see, but it's not so aggressive, and it's just like that one part or just the tip straight staring at you.
Staring down the barrel, someone in chat said.
Yeah, steering.
Oh
That really is it.
Yeah.
But even if you wanted to show off the tip, just like pull that waistband down a little bit, have it peeking over the top.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yep.
A treat.
That's a good pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh.
Purple helmeted warrior of love, like peeking over the trenches.
Or maybe just
Delicious.
a very low angle.
That was
Like a
so visual.
oh my god. No, but like, get a really low angle, like staring up at it. Like that could work too. I don't see that a lot actually.
Ooh, I do like
Oh,
low
yeah.
angle. Mhm.
Staring up
Me
at a
too.
nice dick. Ooh, yum.
I love a POV type thing.
Mm.
Yep.
Mhm.
Someone
And that
write
goes
down
for
for me.
lewds too, like not
Yeah.
even like nudes.
I actually recently did a POV, like a blowjob POV in VR, and it's one of my most popular posts. Like I've got so many like messages and not comments, but likes about that. So people do like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people tend to like that POV style.
Mm.
We've got another question from Marshmallow, so I'm going to pull it up. Thank you, chat, for submitting these. And also, you can ask them in chat as well. You don't have to use the marshmallow if you want to put a name to it. It's okay.
Sorry, that just reminded me of Tom Trench from Hell of a Boss at the end, where they bring up the camera and it's over his face.
Yeah, it happens. Hang on, let me make it bigger. Here we go. There we go. Perfect.
Yes.
I like keeping
Where'd
myself.
you go?
I'm still here. I'm this marshmallow now. I like keeping myself and my surroundings more anonymous for my content. Do you have any tips for backdrops or backgrounds that'd be easier to move or set up and take down between shoots so the space can still be usable? Secondarily, I like to keep my face mostly hidden. Any poses or tips for that? Thank you all for your time and care when answering these questions. So I'll start by saying you don't have to show your face at all. I never show my face. I cannot afford to show my face because I have an IRL job and a family that wouldn't approve, etc., etc. So you don't have to. What I typically do if I want to like tease my face a bit is like I'll maybe put my phone over my face, for example, when I'm taking the photo in the mirror. Or I just don't do it. Just keep the angle down. You don't feel any pressure to reveal that part of you if you don't have to.
That picture of you with your Fansly hoodie on, with all the shadows over your face, is great as well.
You're a big fan of my content, huh?
Yeah.
Just kidding. That's all. That was
We've
all
been
lighting.
besties for 2 years.
No,
I have actually been. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Andy. Go ahead, Andy.
Oh, I was gonna say I've been seeing a lot of people be using like if you have a model or like a PNG, taking your selfie or your lewd or whatever, and then like putting your model's head over top of your regular head. So then it's kind of like a mesh of the two, which is kind of cute, and also keeps it so that you don't have to worry as much about angles when you're taking the photos, because then you can just cover yourself up with that, which I have thought is a really cute idea that I have seen
I do like that,
quite a
yeah.
few VTubers do in the past with keeping their faces hidden.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of people use masks as well, but in terms of backgrounds, I have one like for streaming that I use because my PC setup is in my living room and like not everybody needs to see where I live. I just have one of those foldable dividers from like I think I got it on Amazon, but you can get them at Walmart, you can get them at Target, you can get them at like any home store, and they fold up and you can put them out of the way, or you could just have them in your house and they look very nice. But they make a great background as well, and a lot of them are sort of like that translucent-y rice paper type thing, so you can light them from behind.
Yep.
Ooh.
And that ends up looking really cool. Like, I did a bunch of Huntress pictures where I lit it from behind with red. And it was, like, extra
that's
spooky.
good.
That's
Yeah.
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 I was literally just thinking of like those like paper screen type things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. If it works for like the takeout restaurant, it'll work for you, guaranteed. Yeah.
You can get green screen things that you can just like stick on the wall as well.
And if you
Put
don't-
yourself anywhere.
And if you don't want to spend anything, which is completely understandable, a blanket or any sort of like tapestry you may have can work as well. Just
Or
drape over
going to
something.
the thrift store and getting like a green sheet. Like there are cheap options too for stuff like that, or even like Goodwill has like tapestries sometimes that you can get. Or you can do what Mystique and I do and become a VR lewd tuber.
Yeah.
And you can take all the sexy photos and videos you want, and you don't have to worry about showing your face.
Yeah. Just get yourself a yoga ball and start
And a
bouncing.
yoga mat,
Start
and
dancing
some
on it.
knee pads, yeah.
And knee
Like my favorite
pads.
friend. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will say I've seen many like female femme creators on OnlyFans and Fansly using tapestries, blankets, things like that to sort of like conceal their space and such and stuff, and it works perfectly fine. Like it anonymizes. Thank you, Mystique.
Anemones.
Anemones anonymizes your space, protects your privacy, and the ad was you don't have to clean your room either. So.
Yeah. I'm a
But
goblin. My
I
house
also
is a
use
mess.
lot.
Oh,
I use a lot of like blankets and stuff like that, and put them like up on the walls or up like over all the stuff that I'm all my laundry I still have to do on my bed.
Oh God.
Just put it- you don't see any of that.
The pile that
Just
just
look at
moves
me.
around the room. Like
Yep.
all of these influencers that you see, that's the only clean space in their house.
Yep.
Like
Absolutely.
that background.
Everything is relegated to the laundry cuck chair.
Just clean right here.
The laundry cup
That's
chair.
why he takes the photos in the shower.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny. I actually once did take like a lewd where like my floor was like messy. So people just commenting, "Clean your room." Like, fuck.
God damn it, look at the wrong thing.
People will be so critical.
Like, bitch, you live like this?
Basically. And then I looked at
sure
him like,
do.
oh,
Look at
well, you know
me.
what? They're not wrong. All right, let's go to my list of prepared questions. Oh, here's one about customs. If you do customs, do you find you often get requests for unconventional parts of you, like your feet, armpits, etc.? How do you manage turning down a client that may ask to see more than you're comfortable with?
Actually, I had one person ask me specifically for a photo of me bent over, spreading my cheeks,
Ooh.
and he wanted it of my model and me side by side, like my 3D model and me. And my caveat was, you gotta pay for me to get my booty hole waxed, and then I'll do it. And he did it.
Yes.
He paid
Oh,
extra.
nice.
Oh my god.
I was like, bet.
Slay.
That's the only time I've ever been like, I'll only do it if X thing. Because I don't know, I haven't had any super weird requests, but like I was like, you don't want that spider coming at you, like you gotta pay extra.
The brown recluse.
Yeah, the brown recluse.
Oh goodness.
Okay, so that's going to be the opening for the episode. Noted.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm also loving the Josh like live cam reactions. This is great.
It's
Can you come to
entertaining.
every episode?
Absolutely. I love having Josh in the corners reacting.
To the unhinged shit we say on this podcast.
I will just like off of like Pod just say going with like, I don't think I've really had many like times where I've ever like really like denied somebody of like a custom. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've had like maybe people like pay for like costumes or stuff, but like because they want me in specific outfits. But like other than that, I don't feel like I've ever had to deny somebody.
Is there a part of you that you would deny somebody?
I don't think so. I
Okay.
mean, as long as they pay the right amount of money, I don't think so.
Fair point.
That's how I feel, sort of.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah, this isn't like a video, but I've denied an audio custom because they wanted a very heavy race play element, which wasn't
Yeah.
something that
I
I was
have
really
also-
comfortable with.
Denied the same thing.
Yeah.
Like there are people who make that content, but like, it's
Not me.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
I'm a white girl. I'm not comfortable with like, that's not my choice to make. I don't think.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So that's the only one I've ever denied, really.
I don't write it either in my scripts. Although if I was to maybe act it as an Asian guy, I'd consider it, but no one's asked yet, so.
Well, I mean that's also a group that you're part of versus someone it's in groups and out groups.
Right.
I did have a fun custom picture set commission where they wanted like a burlesque style striptease, but because they pay per image, it's like, okay, well, I'll pay for 8 pictures, and you've got to like compress a story that you would normally tell in a bunch more into like a certain number of pictures, which is really
PowerPoint.
cool. Yeah.
We have a question from Hephaestus in chat. Where would one start when taking lewd and spicy photos? So let's say you've got a friend who's sort of interested in doing fancy content, doing OnlyFans, sort of dipping their toes in. Like, how would you sort of advise them to suss out their boundaries and like how much they want to show initially? Because it can be scary to show that to strangers on the internet.
Start really slow.
Don't show your face when you
Don't show
start
your face.
off.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Don't if you have tattoos, piercings, like anything that is like something that's going to be identifiable
Yep.
to you, like keep that to yourself until you know that this is something that you want people to have a chance of finding out. Like even though there's people we don't want necessarily in our lives finding out, there's gonna always be that chance, and you have to be willing to like accept that if you're gonna do this kind of stuff. So that's like making sure that you're comfortable with all of those background, like that stuff behind the scenes, like the chance of your family like being disappointed in you, or the chance of someone in your real life like finding your account and like trying to pay for your stuff, and then like having to like be uncomfortable with like, or whether or not you are comfortable with someone in your real life like paying for your nudes and stuff like that, because there's always that chance that it can happen because it's on the internet.
Yeah.
So,
It should
like-
be noted that Fansly and I believe Pornhub as well has geo-blocking. So if you're from a small country, for example, you can ensure that your content is not showed in certain countries.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Did
I don't
not
know
know
about
that.
states, but definitely for countries, they've got geo-blocking.
I think on Fansly you can go as close to as like cities,
Oh,
Wow.
because I think I had my city blocked at one point.
yeah.
I didn't even know that.
There are a
Yeah.
lot of like creators from small towns, small like areas where the possibility of getting recognized is remote but there, and that's something you should look into. Like look at all the privacy settings, make sure that you are familiar with how to paywall your stuff so you're not posting all of it by accident, for example. And use the sensors that Fansly has, because they have free sensors that you can like stick things over your image or frost them, for example. And as Andy said, go slow, because if you don't want to put it all out there at once, both from your own comfort level and also just to tease the audience a little bit,
Yeah, I, as a rule of thumb, don't post anything that has my face and my naked body
Yeah.
outside of a paywall. So, like, I may have posted like my titties without my face outside of a paywall, or I'll just post my face outside of a paywall, but it's never both.
both. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I do that too.
It's like, I'm lucky, I'm very fortunate that I do this full time, so I don't have, an IRL job outside of this that I could, jeopardize. And even if I did, the field of work that I was in previously doesn't care about that kind of thing. So like I'm kind of lucky in that respect. But I also recognize that, like, again, I've been a professional cosplayer for a long time. Even outside of VTubing, people know what I look like already. So for me, the choice was not as difficult, because I was like, well, people already know what most of me look like, and at the end of the day, I'm okay with that. But you have to be okay with that, and you have to understand if there are repercussions in your specific situation.
Because
Yeah, and-
nothing is truly ever gone on the internet.
No.
True.
Very true.
And I have friends who pay for my spicy content, and I'm okay with that. I'm like, we've had conversations about it, and I'm comfortable with that. But, that's a case by case thing, and you might not be comfortable with that.
And keep in mind, especially if you're a creator, streamer, VTuber, etc., you may want to go to a con one day. You may want to socialize with other in spaces where creators are. So, keep that in mind as well, in case you're not fully comfortable with people seeing you like that, and putting that to your face.
Yeah. Whereas again, like, I just went to a con because of that. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
like, and I had people come to me, they're like, oh, I know who you are. And I'm like, yeah, you do.
Yeah. Yeah, it varies, because for some people, like that, like Hodge, like it's good, it's fine, and then some people will be mortified if like they are told IRL, like, I've seen you naked, I've seen your titties, etc., etc. So definitely something to keep in mind when showing your face. And I like the tip earlier about like wearing masks too. Everyone's got COVID masks flying around. Use them. I know so many popular creators that like use them right now.
Yep.
Ghost face mask, very popular.
But I'll use my ghost face mask.
Yeah.
I've got to get one of those, I'm telling you.
Yeah, like, my fiance doesn't really like posting spicy photos with his face in them. So we'll do sets where like his face either isn't in them, or we did a ghost face set where, it's the two of us,
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah, I saw
you
that.
can't see his face.
That was a good.
That was
Good
so
set,
good.
Good set.
Yeah, it was. That was a good time.
And people really like mask, especially like full face masks. Like that's a kink. People are really
Yeah.
into like masks. And so doing like the ghost face mask or what's the guy from Call of Duty people really like?
Ghost.
Oh,
Ghost.
yeah.
Ghost.
Ghost.
People
Everybody's a
I have
ghost,
that.
you know?
him. So they're like you could get like, and those are easy to find. Now they're gonna be a price, of course, so it's gonna be an investment. But if you pay for it and you're taking photos and you're making money off of those photos, I mean, it is a return on that. And then you can also write that off on your taxes if you're making
Yep.
enough to
Yes.
Yep.
be able
Yep.
to write that off on your like have taxes.
I'm putting
on
owner
the
holes
money
in my
that you're
taxes
making.
next year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. I think anything over $50, depending on your state, can count.
Yeah.
Do
this
you
is
have
not
any other masks
tax
besides?
advice, but yes. Yeah, go ahead, Misty.
Do you have any masks besides the ghost face one, Josh?
I do. I have Ghost from Call of Duty. I have the red ghost face mask with the horns.
Ooh.
I
Ooh.
have regular ghost face mask. I have this other one that's it's like this.
Oh, like
Oh.
That's cool.
Assassination
I've used this one a lot in
Classroom?
some of my content with like rope and stuff.
Mm.
So yeah, no, I tend to use this mask the most out of all of them.
I like
just
that
the,
one.
Just the expression.
That's
It
a
just
good
looks
one.
really cool.
Yeah.
It's like friendly but also threatening.
Oh yeah. Just wear this for the rest of the stream now.
Perfect.
Yeah. As a treat.
Grove you gets a treat.
Oh my god, I'm so hitting Etsy after this episode.
No, I do love using masks for a lot of my content, though. A lot of my friends, when I was first starting to do like OnlyFans content and just like content, like TikTok and stuff in general, a lot of them had mask kinks. So I definitely took a lot of tips from them as I was going along with my content in the beginning.
Also, you could just drape a scarf or something and have like either fully over your face, have an eye peeking out, like, you know, something's just covering your face, not like taut wrapped around your head. Although that could be good as well,
Yeah.
actually.
What
So
are the
baklava, I think.
balaclava.
A baklava is a dessert.
I was-
Yeah, wrap one of those around your face. I bet you no one's done it.
That'd be nuts.
Oh, very good.
Yes, very good.
But that would be kind of hot.
Some
But
people
it
even
would
do
also
like
be
furry
really
heads.
hot. Ooh,
Yes.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Has anyone done the horse mask?
Oh god.
I think KB has.
Yes, she has.
Horse mask. Someone wants it.
There's an idea.
Rule 34.
Here's another question. So this is specifically about sort of posting for free on Twitter and other sites. How do you determine just how much to show without a paywall? Have you found that has shifted since you started selling content?
Deep thought.
Like I said, I don't give away my face and my body for free at the same time.
Mhm.
If it's like general cosplay pictures, I'll usually post those for free, and then I'll have like the spicy ones behind a paywall because I like to share my cosplay pictures. Like I put those on various websites, so I feel icky putting them behind a paywall. But anything that's explicit in nature is put behind a paywall. Any audios I do that are not part of something like the VA competition we were a part of, for example, like those were free because they were with other people and they were for a competition. But anything I produce on my own, paywall. Like if you're spending an amount of time on a thing, you should be getting paid for it.
100%.
Yeah, I don't put any shaft for free out there.
I feel that.
What I will do is I'll put a censor over it and just like show the effort of being like, banging the a hole or whatever, stroking it. That's just a personal decision that I've made. I don't think it's ever going to change for me necessarily. Although I do recognize that if I showed more explicit stuff for free, it could potentially sort of get me more popular. So it's something I'm thinking about, so to speak. That's why I'm kind of asking, I suppose.
Well, you did that. Sorry.
Oh no, you go right ahead. You go
No,
right ahead.
please, Josh, talk. I talk so much.
Me talk. All right. Well, I mean, I definitely also kind of like agree. Like, I tend to do a lot more like lewd, teasy type of like photos and put like full tip, on like OF behind a paywall. You gotta pay for the tip. But like, I definitely have always like thought about it. Like, what if I posted tip here? Would that give me some more traction? But like, I don't know. I've always kind of just like felt like put like the more like sexual, more like intimate type of bits behind a paywall. That's always been like my thing. I don't think I'll ever personally change that.
Set a price on yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, because not just for tip, but I know this is something that like and presenting creators think about too, whether or not to show full on titties like for free on like Twitter, for example. Because let's face it, when you do get to a certain like size, like they just put everything out there, like full on everything, uncensored on Twitter.
I think it's like it can definitely be helpful to do like one picture from a set for free. Because then you can like lead people to the rest of the set that they will pay money for. But that is really only if you're big enough, because people will pay for it.
Right.
I've posted a titty pic on Twitter maybe twice, but it was like a reward for something like during a tipathon or something. So like people had to earn it. But I don't think I'm of a size where I would just be like, here's some titty, go to Fansly for the rest of the set.
Yeah. I do, since I do a lot of my content is mostly VR, I do normally a free set where I'm like fully clothed, or I have like a lingerie version of my model where I will do some like sexy lewd photos of my model for free. And then I will have the fully naked photos of my model that are behind a paywall. And then if I am going to post anything that is of my IRL body, it is one of my higher subscription tiers. And on top of it, they have to pay a pay-per-view price on top of that most of the time for that. And then I will post like on Fansly, I will post like a free photo from that set. Most of the time it's in a lingerie or alluding to being naked, but I'm not posting full nudity. And then on like Twitter and all the other places, most of the time if I am gonna post myself, it's like something that I would post on my Snapchat or post to my Facebook, where it's pretty safe for work. And then there has been the occasional more lewd posts here and there IRL. Like
the you twerking with the I voted sticker was so good. I loved that.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Content.
That was a special occasion, okay? We needed that.
We did.
We did.
So if you're watching in the future, it was election day here in the U.S. a couple of days ago. We had Andy twerking with an I voted sticker on the booty.
Yeah.
Very effective. I already voted, but like I felt more inspired. And like,
how do I vote again?
How do I vote again? How do I do voter fraud?
How did you vote fraud?
This is a joke. To my FBI agent that's watching this is a joke.
It's not a joke.
Damn it, Josh.
The FBI agent just is Josh. He's there doing all the reactions, like behind his listening station.
Yeah.
This is just the first time we've been seeing it.
Just change his name tag to our FBI informant.
Don't bring attention. Yes, that's 100% true.
Live FBI reaction. Hey, you never know with the current political climate, we might not be able to make porn. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
Not like that.
We'll still be making porn. We'll just be a little bit more quiet about the porn.
Yeah, you'll all move to the UK. Come live with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
We'll make a compound.
I'd say come to Canada, but I think
lease
next
the
year we're
porn
gonna be screwed too.
compound.
Yeah, I
I was
saw.
gonna
Yeah.
say, aren't you supposed to be coming here anyways?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listen, I gotta laugh or I'll cry.
Same. That's all I've been doing. Last couple days.
Not like. Ugh. But yeah, rolling it back, like.
Yeah.
As Andy was explaining, I kind of had a thought of like a thing that's always behind a paywall for me. Like, even if you have a sub, even if you have like a high tier sub, me fucking someone else, always behind an additional paywall. That is
100%.
pay-per-view content. That is pay-per-view content. You gotta pay extra for that. And even like my VODs, if I'm doing a VOD, a stream with someone else, that one is also like way more expensive to watch than any of my regular VODs.
An IRL stream with someone else, or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
any collab with someone else?
No, an IRL one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for my own research.
Yeah, so
There
this
is
is
something
actually
that-
a very important thing that Podge and Andy bring up here, which is that Fansly can customize your tiers and the content on a per content basis too. So you can make it so that things are accessible only if you're subbed and pay a price, or subbed, or like it's very customizable that way, and it's very important
That's
that like
pretty
new
cool.
creators learn about that.
Yeah,
There's something
changing those
Atra did as
settings
a-
in advance.
There's something Atra did as a promo actually, where he was doing, what was it, the Tenga?
Yes.
Yeah, he was fucking the Tenga, but it was like censored. But he did like a perfectly cut screams on his orgasm, which was really, really effective. Like, I would have gone and paid to hear the full thing. Like, as he started coming, cuts the video.
A lot of people
Oh,
are mad
yeah.
at me about that one.
My
Yeah.
thumbs are always on under my paywall too. I never come for free.
Yeah, but like having it start and then stop, it was like being edged. I just wanted to like
It
see
just
the
cuts
rest.
to like a graphic. Get the full video. It's not-
Yeah.
It was so, but that was so effective. Like that was brilliant.
I need to put
I'm
like,
gonna
some
do that from
audio
now on.
underneath that, like the troll song. Like,
Yeah. Oh my god.
How dare you?
I do
edge
th-
them
I do
like
that
this?
I do that with my 3D animations too, though. I'll do like you can hear the audio, but you can't see the video. And it just says, watch the full video on Fansly.
Oh,
Well,
smart.
I've started turning like a few seconds of like the VR videos that I do into GIFs and posting those.
Yeah, I always do like anywhere from like a 10 to 30-second like preview video. And I will either like blur the video, or I will have written all the way across it with a big watermark saying like more on Fansly or whatever. As a way of as promo for all of my videos.
Yeah. I did the GIF of the two of us in front of the mirror. Well, it was actually me in Welsh, but in your model. And yeah,
Imposter.
yeah, I just turned it into like a 5-second GIF, and again got like more interaction because there was a moving preview, even though you obviously couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, let's move on to another question. We're gonna get more into sort of like the meta, I suppose. Although we do have a couple questions about creation also. And again, chat, you can get questions in using the anonymous link up top or asking them in chat. But let's talk a bit about lewd content as sort of growth, so to speak. Actually, I'll get back to that one in a sec. But how do you feel about people that think nudity / sex work / thirst trapping is an easy means to success in streaming?
Oh, fuck you! So
you try
hard.
taking a picture of your own butthole.
Yeah, give it a
Ugh.
shot. See how far you get.
I will
Yeah.
hand them my 2
Do you
pound
use a ring
toaster
light
to
for your
wear on their
brown
head
ring?
for 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what Andy said, I will give you my toaster and strap it to your face for 3 hours and see how you feel then. As a VR headset,
Bro.
Josh. I can see you're really confused by that comment.
No, I was like, what does it mean by that?
Yeah, it's a
VR
toaster mask
headset.
kink. It's like really specific.
It's tough. Like I had to I did it once and like my head was tired. I was a tired baby.
Yeah.
Neck support.
Oh
Little
my god.
wobbly head.
Yeah,
out
we
Yeah.
were doing a shoot together. He was like the saddest guy that was getting a blowjob ever. Just his head was like, oh.
That's so silly.
No, but
I mean,
for
so
real,
like my thing about this is like, yes, there is a certain audience you can hit by being lewd. Like that's undeniable. But there's also a lot of doors you close by being lewd. A lot of
Oh,
people
big time.
are not gonna want to interact because of that, or they get uncomfortable around you because of that. So, do people blow up quickly because they make some of the content? Absolutely. Do you attract a lot of bad actors to you as well? Absolutely. It's not as
100%.
simple as that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And also, you don't necessarily blow up. Like,
Oh, you don't, yeah.
there are plenty of people slogging away who have not, like, instantly become Cottontail or, like,
They,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, like, Podge is a bigger creator, and, like, they have got there by working their assholes off.
Literally, my asshole.
Literally,
Yeah,
brown
they're
rectums.
waxed asshole,
Yeah.
guys.
I get that thing waxed once a month. Every 4 weeks, baby.
Oh my god.
Do you do anal bleaching?
No. No.
Oh,
No.
That
I
sounds rough.
listen.
And I don't recommend anal bleaching.
I get a wax every month. I get my nails done every month. Like, and I write this shit off, but it's for content
Work.
creation.
It's a lot.
Yep.
I lost my train of thought completely.
Like,
Whatever
shout out
thought
to
I
my
had.
esthetician Natalie, because she knows what I do.
it's 3:10 in the morning, me yelling her shaved asshole, guys. And I live in the middle block in a block of 9 flats, so I am connected to everybody.
Oh, there she goes again. The pink bint.
The pink bint.
No, but I definitely agree. Like you can start off like going like straight into lewd content, but like there is no like immediate like path to success, and it's like all around like luck. Like me, I did my content like starting with doing like voice content and being like thirst traps and stuff like that, and started doing like Twitch streams and all this stuff. And then eventually I started doing like the more like intimate like OnlyFans and stuff like that. And then that's where I already had some form of success in some form of platform before I even like dove into all of it.
Yeah, like it's a combo of luck and working your buns off and timing. Honestly, timing is super important too.
You need to know how to run a business. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just posting on Twitter. It's not just putting a picture of your butthole on OnlyFans. It's like you have to know how to market. You have to know how to network. You have to know how to edit videos and audios and
Mhm.
pictures on top of taking all of the content as well. So like you have to learn all of these skills more than just taking photos of our booty holes, you know?
Yeah,
like
because like there are so many titties on
Yep.
Twitter and OnlyFans and stuff. Like, if I think that some of those people who blame lewd tubers for like their lack of success think that all you do is take a picture of your tits and then all of a sudden you have all the attention. There are so many tits out there that like if that's all you are offering, you will never succeed.
100%.
Because people will see the tits and move on.
Porn is free.
Mm-hmm.
You have
And
to give them a
For now.
reason to pay you. For now.
Exactly.
And I think one of the smartest marketing decisions I ever made was making my VTuber a short stack with the same body type as me.
Oh yeah.
Because the moment I said, well, hey guys, if you like this, you might also like what I actually look like. And then my community was already into that, and I had already cultivated them. And then they saw what I actually looked like, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's actually Podge! Oh my god!" Like I already have the demographic that is into my body type, right? So it's like Podge champs, I see you. So like I knew to an extent, based off of testing the waters with my model, how well to a degree this stuff might do. Whereas, like, for example, I don't do much on TikTok at all because I just the stuff I make does not do well on TikTok. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm too much of a boomer, but
That's why that's my copium also.
I'm also like not conventionally attractive as far as I'm concerned. Like, and I'm fine. I'm not saying that like in a derogatory way.
Right,
I'm saying that in a like, I am a niche interest.
Exactly.
And I found my niche.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the problem with not being sort of anywhere near that conventional beauty standard is that it will attract a lot of hate towards you because people are bullies and they have a mask and a sort of safe vantage point from which they can take pot shots at you. And for someone like me, who looks like four of these girls in a trench coat, like that would be devastating eventually. And I know that I'm not strong enough.
Would love to hear that you look like four conventionally attractive women in a trench coat. Like, right? Like there are people out there who want that. Like they love they're down with the thickness.
Totally, but like if you post it publicly, as opposed to like outside of sort of places where there are more niche interests, it will attract people who will use that to try and hurt you for their own gain. I know I'm not strong enough to deal with that yet.
And I mean, even if you are quote unquote conventionally attractive, people are gonna come at you with hate no matter what.
Yes.
True.
Like slut shaming and like it's a lot.
They're gonna find something to hate about you no matter what, which is awful, and you have to find ways to brush it off, which can be hard. Like if you're going to put yourself on the internet in any form or fashion, whether it be lewd, safe for work, or anything, you have to be prepared for that aspect of the internet, unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't mean to like say that conventionally attractive people have like an easier time or anything.
No.
I know. I'm telling chat. I know you knew.
Oh, okay.
No, it's sometimes terrifying because, like, within the VTuber sphere tends for the most part to be pretty accepting, very body positive and such. It's my nightmare that my shit breaks containment and like exit the VTuber sphere because people will not be kind. Like, I'm a brown-skinned Asian man. Like, people are not gonna be kind about it.
You're a man in lewd content creation too. Like, and I'm sure Josh can like speak towards this too.
Yeah, but I'd say like just being like a male inside of sex work, I definitely get like hate a lot on, especially on weirdly enough, mostly on like TikTok. I don't get nearly as much like on like Twitter or anything like that, but people will like come after you for like the way like you look, the way you like act, the way you sound vocally. Like I've actually gotten a lot of people, they're just like, oh, your voice sounds creepy, and I'm just like, what?
Your face is creepy, you horrible little 13-year-old goblin. No offense, Podge. Sorry.
Yeah, it's always the minors.
Listen,
like
I don't like children
like,
either.
What the hell?
Yeah. No, people I've heard TikTok is very fucking mean. Like.
Very fucking
big time.
mean,
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Like, I can handle mean adults, but I can't handle mean children because I can't legally be mean the way I want to be to those kids.
Yeah.
Like. Like
best friend at that point.
Yeah.
If I as a 34-year-old person, I can't tell like a 12-year-old to go fuck off and like all this shit. Like that makes me feel horrible.
And it sucks.
TikTok is a scary place.
It's very
It is.
scary.
It truly is. As a content creator on there that's like up there a little bit, like, yeah, it very much is a scary place. Especially those kids just coming into the comment section, even though you have like minor don't interact, they just keep coming in flocks.
do it
And it's
anyway.
just like,
Oh yeah, they
leave
do
me
it.
alone, please.
Yeah.
YouTube has
Yeah,
some
you're
same issues,
constantly
too.
like sweeping minors out of your space with a big broom.
hmm
I wish
Like-
that it was so easy like that.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh, I've
Yeah,
had
there's no
like
checks for that,
minors
really.
enter my raffles for like NSFW art.
Oh,
So like I'll be like, oh, there's a raffle. You can choose SFW or NSFW with me, and they'll be like, NSFW, please, and I'll like check their profile and they're 15.
God.
Eek.
disgusting.
Please exit the internet.
Oh yeah, I will straight up scream at them in all caps in the reply, like, you are a minor, you have no place here. Like, fuck off.
I can't interact with a kid the way I would speak to an adult who was being rude to me, because
Exactly.
like I don't know. I just can't do it. I can't do it, and it's not a road I want to walk down.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's
I will not
punching
even-
down.
I will
It's
not
not.
even
It's
reply.
not good.
Like, just block immediately. Like,
Yep.
I'm cutting contact right this moment. Not like, do not interact means do not interact.
like- I'm old
That
enough to
is
be your
something-
mom.
That's something too, that if you're gonna start getting into like lewd content and taking lewd photos and stuff, like you have to be prepared to like know how to protect yourself and internet, like minors on the internet. Like, it sucks that we have to be the ones to be protecting the minors because parents don't, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's the only way that we're able to protect ourselves in the long run, and that's something that you're gonna have to like battle with forever.
And like, I really
And-
do need like VTubers especially to understand, like, you got to put your lewd content where it belongs. Like, if you
Mhm.
want to do lewd stuff, you can't do it here on Twitch. There are kids everywhere, and you don't want to be making softcore porn for kids. Straight up.
Yeah,
Find their
that.
way in.
Yeah. And also, like, you can have the 18 plus filter on Twitch, but it's literally just a button challenge. Like, it's for 18 plus, and then you click OK, and then you can see it. So, yeah, walking
They
around in a
need-
couple of pasties and a G-string, like, it's not gonna do it.
They need
But then,
smarter like captchas. Like, who was the Yellow Power Ranger in like 1992?
Oh, yes! Trini!
Oh my god.
You have 3
Trini,
seconds
my
to answer.
darling.
sometimes like a kid will click that button, and I've had someone come into my Twitch chat and be like, I'm 18 in 2 months, can I be here? And I said, nope, but you can come back when you're 18. And they actually did. Like, they waited
Yeah.
2 months, they did not engage with my content for 2 months, and then they came back. And I was like, wow, you know what, good for you.
Yeah.
Like, I respect you.
Pocket had the same thing, and he drifted over to my chat as well, but he like waited until his 18th birthday and came back. That's so sweet when they do that.
It's like, thank you for following the rules, even though you didn't at first.
Mm-hmm.
Self-reporting, we love to see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
They
love it when they do
self-report so
that.
much. It's hilarious.
They do. Because
I
think they forget.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a minor interact with me on Fansly before.
Yes.
Really?
There was one who was
Ugh.
running around. Yeah, I remember
What?
this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I had, and he was messaging me, and I never am sexual with anyone until they pay. So
Mhm.
he was just like, "Hi, how are you?" And I was like, "Hi, I'm fine. How are you?" And then he said something about being in gym class, and I was like, "I'm sorry, what? How old are you?" And he just went 16. And I responded, I was like, "This is an adult website. This is illegal for you to be here and interacting with me. I'm going to be reporting your page now." And then I blocked him.
Mhm.
But I was like, a child on
God,
this
yeah.
site. Like, it was
Fucking insane.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, truly. So, like, you have to even be mindful of how you interact with people on your fan sites as well, because you don't know. People are, kids are
Take
dumb, and
reasonable
they don't-
steps.
Yeah, they don't have that brain they're not developed. They
They're
don't
not
make
developed.
good decisions.
They're
You
just
have to make
horny and looking
decisions
for an
them.
outlet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
I mean,
and again, like that's why put everything spicy behind a paywall.
yes,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yes.
I can't like people can't even DM me unless they pay on
Yeah,
Fansly.
that was I think I had my account open for like maybe 3 months at this point, and that was like, okay, well, looks like now I am a paywall. You cannot message me until you pay me, and I haven't opened my DMs since.
Yeah, like
'Cause
especially like for male creators, paywalling everything and making it all transactional is how you protect yourself. Like I genuinely believe this. Like
100%, I
don't
agree.
do freebies, don't put things in DMs for people, like, you know, as rewards, whatever it is. Make it all transactional because you never know who's who and you never know who's like who has it out for you too, honestly.
Also, because you have to be 18 to have a credit card.
Yes.
And Fansly will not let you use PayPal. You have to use a credit card.
Yep.
Good point. Yeah. If I could
Yeah.
like I could tattoo on my forehead, make it all transactional. Like male lewdy wannabes, make it all transactional. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Any lewd, honestly, that is something that I will die on this hill. If we want to be taken seriously, we need to stop giving away so much of ourselves in porn and make it transactional, because if people are used to paying for our bodies, then they're going to take us seriously. But
Yes.
if we continue to post free things all the time and give things away, that takes down our value, and then people will take us less seriously. And right now, especially in the climate and the world that we are in, we need to be taken seriously as more than just posting pics of our titties, you know?
I
Yeah.
think it also helps a
100%.
lot with parasocialism. Like when someone is paying for that,
Yes.
you kind of have the protection of this is a service I am providing you. This is not a personal thing because you've paid for it. So
100%.
you can fall back on the like I am doing this because you paid. Not
Yeah.
not because we're friends, not because we're gonna, fuck
Ever
for
be more
real.
than that.
Like,
Mhm.
So that's another reason why I like to keep the transactionality part of it there. Is it really helps with the parasocialism.
Great point. Very great points by you both, actually. Like,
Yeah. And you'll get people who will try to like worm their way in and like trick you into talking dirty and titillating them. Like I have someone who's like he messaged me and then I was like, okay, well, here are my rates. And he was like, okay, cool. And then he stopped. And then like a couple weeks later, he was like, oh, I'm buying a dildo. And I was like, ooh, cool.
What color?
Yeah, and yeah, they like, oh, I'm gonna use it and come a lot, and I'm just like, great, thumbs up emoji, and like, you're not smart. Like, I can see what you're doing. You're not slick.
sex workers have seen every trick in the book, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We're
we
actually
have.
very smart.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be smart to be in this line of work. You do.
Yeah. And it's been disproved. There was a great paper by a university, I think it was in Michigan, called the damaged goods hypothesis, about sex workers being like desperate or not having had enough love or
Abuse
having
or-
daddy issues or being abuse victims or needing to do this for like substance abuse. Mystique's mic is way louder than the others. Mystique's mic is always way louder than the others.
Yeah.
It's not fair. I've turned it down.
Hang on.
It's
Um,
allowed to be loud.
I've got it.
I've turned it down.
Like to that stuff, I'm like, nah, man, my dad's great.
Yeah.
I hang out with my dad all the time.
But that's not good. Why I'm a porn star. Like,
I just like
Love my
being
dad.
naked.
But the study proved that the percentage of representation of those kinds of people in the sex work community is about the same as their representation in society at large. So, as our stream died.
No. I was just adjusting your volume. Continue. Carry on.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it absolutely does not mean that we are not educated, well-adjusted, like decent people.
Hmm. I'm super well adjusted.
I have a master's degree.
I have
Yeah.
a bachelor's and 4 different licenses.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
vocational licenses. Like I am learnt.
Mhm.
100%. I had one more question about content before we go into some of the more sort of larger lewd like issues. And so I was just curious, like, because like this is something that I'm personally dealing with, sort of starting out as like a smaller like beginner creator and such for IRL stuff. Have you ever had a set or video that didn't do particularly well? What takeaways did you have from that experience? So have you ever had a set that just flopped? Or you like got all dolled up and like did a cosplay and it didn't really sell? Like did you like how'd you feel about that and what did you take away from that experience?
People are dumb and they're wrong, and they should like it.
That's that's
That is
valid.
correct.
That's valid. If you believe in your content, that's all that matters,
I think if I've ever had a set do poorly, it's more based on the time that I posted it. So I have to figure out like when the optimal times are, and I'll just like repost it at a different time, and suddenly it'll do better. Like it just,
Yep.
it's timing. It's you got to think about when people are jorking it.
Yep.
Also, like a lot of times if a set doesn't do well, you can always remarket things too. So like sending it out as like a DM as well, like or posting like a sale for it, like not necessarily putting it on sale, but like doing a promo for it, you know? Sometimes
Bundle it.
it's just that, like Pod says, people don't see it. And so, like, giving it a different, if you just posted it and then, like, give it like a couple days, and then you can do like a promo for it to like
Yeah.
highlight that you just posted it, stuff like that, or sending out a DM, hey, did you miss this? And then everyone in your following list gets it. DMs, as long as you're not going crazy with the DMs can be really useful for like page content.
Yeah. That's a great point, actually, because like I know my core audience doesn't log into Fansly every single day. They probably log in when I'm streaming, basically, because otherwise they're just not casually scrolling it because there's not a lot of male creators on the site. So it's part of heavily marketing on Twitter and Blue Sky. And if it doesn't get the impressions I want it to, like it's not the end of the world. You can remix it, you can cut it up, you can put it in a bundle. Like I think there's a lot of pressure to be original and keep putting out new stuff and new sets and new photos, and it's a trap that a lot of people fall into because your old stuff works fine too.
I repost stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Especially if you're streaming for 3 hours, you can cut those clips up and have those be things that you're able to post on your page, like at least to keeping your page active, so that Fansly and like OnlyFans, like you're still in like the algorithm and stuff. Like you have so much content that people might not have seen, so post it for them.
Yeah,
You don't
like
have to always do new stuff.
that video of Atra and I, like that was previously in a big bundle that we did, like a whole big shoot. And it was just one video that was there.
Josh, I would say so your content's very heavily dependent on algorithms sometimes, I'm guessing,
Yep.
between TikTok and Twitter. Do you ever find yourself bombing in the algorithm, and how do you sort of like adjust when you do, if you do?
If it's when it comes to like TikTok, like that, because that's where I really get a lot of my like traction, like people and whatnot.
Yeah.
I always like to just like kind of just re-experiment with like different like videos. I repost a lot as well. So like earlier when I was like brought up, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I repost videos like on there all the time so I can like up traction like everywhere else, like doing like a lot of my like let's say my content where I'm like being like, let's say, such a good pet. Like I do like a lot of like like reposts of like stuff like that to get people more engaged to come back. And then like even like on like OF, I will go back to stuff that like worked. Like sometimes I'll like test things, be like, I wonder if people will like this, and I'll post. Sometimes if it doesn't do well, I'm just like, I'll save that for later. Maybe we'll try again at some point. So like, I just agreed with a lot of everything everyone else is just saying. Like I definitely do a lot of those same practices when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
If you have a video that does not do well on TikTok, do you take it down and then repost it at a later time, or do you leave it up? You take it down completely?
Yeah, so there will be times I'll leave some videos up if they have, let's say, a couple thousand like views. But if a video gets like immediately shot down and I have like under 1,000 views, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting that, clean it right off the slate, and I'll redo it later with like similar scripting or something like that.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. As soon as you did that voice, I was like, oh man, I've seen a ton of your TikToks.
I think my most favorite one is like, oh, you're so cute. You're mine. That's like one of my more popular ones that people have heard.
I'll be right back.
Great, my panty drawer has just caught fire. Thank you so much.
Holy shit, dude. That's awesome.
It's very silly. I have so much fun doing my voice content. It's like I've evolved it over the last like oh god, I've been on there for like 3 years now.
Wow.
God, yeah, no, I've been doing like content like that for at least the last like almost 2 years, where I've gone like more into like using like pet names and stuff like that on top of it. It's really fun.
We don't get a lot of TikTokers on the show, actually, so it's very valuable to hear this perspective from you.
Yeah, flesh tubing TikToker, male sex creator. Awesome.
When you're making content and you're using like the pet names and stuff, do you feel like specifically on TikTok, do you ever have any like issues with like people overstepping like any sort of boundaries or anything like that? With like, sometimes people can get a little
parasocial.
Yeah. Especially when you start adding things like baby girl or good boy, good girl, that kind of stuff. So
100%. Like my message like request box gets like all these different things like, oh, I really just love how you said that. It's just something I'm just so into. And I'm like, that's great. Fantastic.
Or they immediately pull out daddy.
Yes. When they pull that out, I'm just like, I mean, I have a lizard. I'm a lizard dad, but I'm not your daddy.
One-eyed trouser snake, sorry.
No, but like there are people a lot of the time like inside my comment section that are just that will get super parasocially. I tend to ignore those comments now after doing this for so long, but like in the beginning, like it definitely creeped me out and it made me feel like very uncomfortable for a long time. And I just get, I guess as time went along, like it doesn't affect me nearly as much. But it is uncomfortable every now and then. So my message requests when people will like say like, I want you to be my dom and all of this stuff. And I'm just like,
oh,
just a guy.
Hello. How
I'm just
are
a guy
you?
on the internet.
Who just starts a conversation like that?
Can you take me to dinner first? Damn.
It's like this weird sense of ownership almost. Like
the weirdest ones are when people are just like, I'd leave my fiance for you. You should
just
like, what are you doing? Get out of my message
Leave
box.
your fiance if that's
I'll just be
the
like,
case.
out of curiosity, what's your fiance's at? Like,
Yeah. But it's you wouldn't
post that. Yeah, go ahead.
You wouldn't just go up to someone in public and be like, "Hey, can I lick your nipple?" You know, like
pay
just
me a
think of
little
it
bit
like
of
that.
money first before. No,
Yeah.
but,
Sorry,
like
Atra.
I've had times where people like I've had to say like, "Hey guys, we're gonna pause for a second because we need to discuss that. Like, I'm selling you a fantasy. You know, I'm your mommy, but I'm not your mom." Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll be your mommy for these 2 hours, but like outside of that, like it's just because you are supporting me in some way does not mean you have an ownership to my time or my attention, or like I'm providing a service and fulfilling a fantasy, and there's a line, and
Yeah.
sometimes people don't quite get that.
Well, they just treat you like a sex dispenser rather than a person.
Yes.
Yes.
And I love dispensing sex, but like not like this.
I mean, it's the avatar, it's the online thing, it's the fact that they don't really see you as a person sometimes, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, I think people are very used to like instant gratification and having access to, not a specific person, but whatever they want online for free at any time. So it devalues what you are providing, and also sort of removes like your, I suppose, personhood is the right word for
Yes.
it.
No, you're correct.
Because you become you become a source, not a person.
Like, I have a sex toy. I am not a sex toy.
Correct.
You have
You can buy the
What?
Podge Odahol.
Yes, yes. It's quite good.
After
Yeah, she
did a review of
messages
it.
people going, "I'm going to buy a dildo."
Yeah. No, I message people going, "Hi, would you like to purchase the Podge Odahol and review it?"
Which Atra did, by the way. You can pay.
Yeah.
You can go on Fancy and pay to see it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, very good. The teeth are a sensation that I didn't think didn't imagine I'd like. Anyway.
The Goblin Grip.
It's also
My
the
face is getting all warm right now. My.
it's also the only honor hole I've ever seen with a nose, which is like
Yes.
very
It's so cute, honestly.
yeah. It's
It really
amazing.
I straight up cummed into it and flicked its nose. I'm not even joking.
I took it with me to SumiCon, and the amount of people who just wanted to touch it, like, because they thought it was cool.
It
Like,
feels good, yeah.
Yeah.
The texture of it looks very sensory pleasurable.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
how
like,
Yeah.
put your finger in it. Put
Great
your
for
finger in
stimming,
it.
yes.
Freezing instead of my hands.
soft and
Yeah.
smooth. I don't know.
So yeah, you can totally go to atramentum.inc and
Okay.
Yeah.
go to his Fansly.
Yeah.
Also, Podge, you've got to get a butt one done too, by the way.
Listen, I'm working on it.
Yeah. I'll review it.
Put a nose on that one too.
Yes,
Yeah.
put a nose on it too, yes.
Where the hole should be, just right above it.
Not a scary spider though.
No, you need the spider. 100%.
I'll make the brown recluse.
So actually, this dovetails pretty nicely into a question I want to ask, not about your fans actually, but other creators. So here's the question: do you feel that posting IRL nudes has led to other creators, especially forming assumptions about your sexual availability or boundaries?
Not so much in my case, because I'm very open about my relationship with my partner. And we also create content together. So a lot of people don't want to overstep that boundary, and they actually really enjoy us as a couple. So like, people are always surprised when we're like, "Oh no, we're poly, it's fine." Like, so I have people err more on the side of caution in that regard. But I know that's very much not the experience for other people.
Yeah, my husband's like a beloved member of my community, so people within my community don't want to like overstep that. But they're also very horny, very open about like being horny over my content. He's like, "Fuck yeah, it's amazing, right?"
Mhm.
I love that. That's so
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
He is adorable.
It's-
They're adorable, all of it.
Yeah. He is a good little fuzz monster.
What?
Aw.
Fuzzy was on the October episode 2 episodes ago, by the way, so go check that out.
Correct.
Yes. I will say, no one has ever overtly come to me and been like, "Well, I see you post this, so you must want to do this," whatever it is. But definitely people sort of angling to like collab with you, or like to get more from you, or to add you on like Discord or something like that. once you put that stuff out there. I think there
So
is the assumption that you might be willing to do it for free or in DMs or to sext, basically, sometimes.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
don't necessarily have it when I more for my IRL stuff. But as a VR creator, I have a lot of creators that will come to me, and okay, there's a difference between creators coming and asking for collabs and doing it in like a respectful way and like
Mm.
in a professional way, but I will have a lot of creators that won't do that, and they'll just message me and say, "Add me on VR chat and let's do stuff." And I'm like,
Mm.
"What? Whoa, whoa, whoa! No, no, no! I don't even do stuff for collabs with people unless I am like friends with them."
Yeah.
And like, and it is like I have to be friends with them first before I can really like be comfortable with someone. So
Hmm.
so I do get that, but it's more so because of my VR content than my IRL content. But I'm also very loud about being demisexual. So I have to have a connection with someone to want to be sexual with them unless they're paying me to begin with. And and so like I'm not in DMs really like being sexual with someone to begin. So like I'm pretty loud about my boundaries and what is
Mm.
comfortable with me and what is allowed to, and how you're allowed to speak to me. And if you cross that line, a lot of the times I will just yeet
Shut it
you out of
down.
my
Right.
space. Yeah, I'll tell
Do
you, no, that's
Yeah.
not allowed.
do you think there is a certain permissiveness among like VR creators that like, well, most VR creators are like, fine, just get into VR and fuck, and maybe you're the odd one out. Do you ever get that impression?
Oh, I feel like that quite a bit actually. Like I feel like obviously the creators that take content creation seriously are very different. But
Yes.
the ones there are the bad eggs, obviously.
Mm.
They will even make me feel like I am the odd one out. That like it's just VR. Why aren't you coming in and doing this? Because it's just VR. And I'm like,
You know,
it's
Why
not
won't
just
you
VR for
simulate
me.
sex with me? Like, what?
to add to that, like, yeah, the only times I've ever had creators kind of act like that in my DMs have been VR creators,
Yeah,
and
That's
there's a
interesting.
weird
it's a bit weird.
culture
Mm.
around VR, which is icky. It's icky.
And
Mm.
I'm just like, nah, I don't. Who are you? I don't know you. VR spicy stuff is too real for me. I don't want to. No.
It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too
it is real
much.
to me. While it is, yes, it is VR. It is pixels on a screen. It is still real to me. I do have some phantom sense. Like people are still in my space. I can still see them. They still simulate touching me. That is very real to
Mm.
Very
me.
intimate. Yeah.
And that's too intimate for me. And then on top of it, you have to like pretend, and to have to pretend sucking someone's dick and making
Hmm.
sure that you're making it look good in VR, like that's stressful. And so
Yeah.
like I don't want to do that with just anyone. That I
Yeah.
it's scary.
Hmm. Absolutely. And even like me, I don't really have phantom sense, but like there is still a presence that feels like a physical presence in your space. And like you don't necessarily want to open that to everybody.
Hmm.
And I think that there are some creators who want to collab in order to fuck, not in order to make content.
Yes.
Yep.
They'll try and collab with you because they're trying to fuck you, and that's one of their ways in, rather than
Sorry
just
about that.
asking you if you want to fuck.
Yeah. So collabing in VR means, would you like to come and erotic role play with me? It is not
Basically.
Hmm.
Yeah.
collabing.
Yes.
And like even if it's like a 2D stream, or where you're watching porn together or something, like there are people who just want to be with you in a sexual situation, and again, you think you're slick, but it's kind of obvious.
Yeah, I
But-
have rules in my chat, like no roleplay.
Oh yeah, me too. Like you're
But
here to watch me do the loot thing. You're not here to like get one-on-one ERP with me whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to hear, like, Josh and Atra, your experiences with this, though, because, like, I know with a lot of guys, people seem to think, well, you're a guy, you must be horny all the time, so you want
Yeah.
this. And, like, that's super fucked up.
I mean, so in my last couple of years of like doing all this, it's actually been really rare that I have like another creator like come to me do like the collab thing. Like when I was like really small, like under 40K on like TikTok, then like I had some creators that were like, "Oh my god, we should like totally collab," and then we could just like fuck. And I'm just like, hello, who are you? Do you like video game? Do you want to play video game with me first? I'm
Do you like
Debbie.
crochet?
Yeah. Do you like watching anime? Like, oh my god, like let's have a combo first. I have to know you
like
at least a
spaghetti?
little bit.
Mm.
But I mean, like, I personally just haven't dealt with like a whole lot in a very long time. Because at least when it comes to like my community and comes to like my online like persona, like where I show off, like I'm very like Demi, and I'm like a very like I have to really like have emotion towards somebody before like I do anything like that anyway. So like collabing with me doesn't usually happen because of that.
Yeah, I've mostly found other creators to be pretty good. I definitely attracted a lot of bad attention early on as sort of a newer creator because there are certain creators who sort of gravitate towards lewd men and like
Mhm.
very much want to be seen around them and with them, and you know they kind of just, and then they sort of like put their like negative behaviors on you, like being possessive of you, or like, you know, jealous, like outwardly jealous of who you're hanging out with and talking to. um I've become more closed off for that reason, basically. And I really don't even do one-on-one collabs on Fansly at this point because, like, I'm very much like, listen, this is my space in which I sexualize myself. Either you're gonna see me in a big group or just by myself. You're not gonna see me like doing one-on-one role play with somebody because I
I
don't
get it.
want you to assume that you're gonna get that also. You know?
Yeah. Most of the time, my community prefers me on my own anyway.
Hmm.
They are kind of a little possessive of me, and I mean in a good way. I let them be, but like I love doing collabs with people that I am comfy with, or like doing like Atra, you do your big collab streams. Those are always fun,
Yeah.
and
Big game night.
that is like a little bit more safe. And then my chat mostly mainly prefers me just being there with them because I can pay more attention to them, and they can pay attention to me a little bit more too.
That makes sense.
Which, I mean, they're there for me. They're paying me. I mean, obviously, unless the collab, but like for the most part, they want me. That's why they're there. So I like collabs, but they can be difficult. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really only collab with, like, a very select amount of people, unless it is a big group thing, like,
Right.
because it does feel a lot safer when you're, like, in a big group collab.
Absolutely. I have a small core of people, maybe 30 to 40 people at tops, that I will like ping for like a loot collab. And then even that's set up way in advance and it's like written down, like, here's everyone who's going to be here. If you need to pull out, you let me know privately. I'll shuffle you out, no problem. Like that's how you avoid a lot of the pitfalls, I think, because when you start doing a lot of like one-on-one content or intimate things and some boundaries get crossed, like it tends to send the wrong message, and that's how docs get dropped, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chat. So by the way, the depths typically last about 2 hours. We're getting close to the 2 hour mark. So if any sort of like closing questions for our creators here, please get them in either via Marshmallow or in chat. I've got some prepared questions that I want to ask, and they're a bit more serious actually. So we're gonna get right into them. So this is something, and I've had some personal experience like with other creators who have had this happen to them, and I've tried to help them get through it. But here's the question. Many sex workers have had their content leaked and reposted without their consent. In fact, it is a major reason why many creators quit doing IRL content. What are your personal feelings on this, and what advice would you give to newer creators who are concerned about this?
I've had it
So-
happen once. Well, I'll let you go first.
Oh, you go first. You go first.
Okay.
I have a lot of information on this. Sorry.
Yeah, I've had it happen once, and I didn't even know. Someone else sent it to me because they were looking to see if their stuff had been uploaded anywhere else, and they found some of mine from my Fansly. And it was a website that literally just reposts people's stuff from Fansly and OnlyFans.
Right.
But Fansly, and I'm sure OnlyFans does too, has like protections in place where if you've stolen someone's paid content, Fansly will actually take care of it for you if you report it to Fansly. So it wasn't a big issue and it got taken care of. But I've never had someone do it like personally or like out of malice or something. And even
Right.
if they did, I'd be like, yeah, you like my titties? Cool. Like, what's up? I like them too.
Yeah, no, this question specifically pertains to like the stealing of paid content and reposting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, and
So-
someone paid to get that content too. It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
So a lot of times, first of all, that's why Fansly and OnlyFans, they take a percentage that covers a part of your DMCAing. That copyright, that is what they protect, that helps with your protection. So like making sure to always send in if you find a leak. If you hear squeaking in the background, my dog has a toy. I'm sorry.
We love dogs here. Don't worry about
it.
And then a lot of the times it is your paid content. So making sure, like we talked earlier about, at least with Fansly, I don't know with OnlyFans, you can set it to have certain permissions. And if you have a lower tier that is like $5, most of the time that's the tier that people are going to pay for and then upload onto other sites because they're not going to spend more than $5-10. So if you do have someone that is starting to leak your content, you can start locking your content down and offering it as like you have to subscribe and also pay for something. So whether that be if your subscription is $5 and then pay per view another $2 or something like that, that is going to give them less of a chance to like want to go in and pay for each of your pieces of content to upload and steal. Which is something that a lot of it happens a lot more with VR content, unfortunately. There's a lot of VR girls that I know that have had their content stolen, years and years of content stolen and posted on those sites. There are also some websites that Fansly can't do anything about. So a lot of the times you have to make sure that you don't call attention to those leaks. Like if you're posting about it, like
100%.
whoever's leaking on my page, like that just is telling everyone else that content's somewhere else that they
Broadcasting
can
it
go
out there.
Google and
Yeah.
find it. So you want to try to avoid making it known that there are leaks out there, because that's gonna make people go away from your page. And then like obviously like it's gonna happen, unfortunately. So making sure that like the things that you really don't want leaked are worth a certain price, you know.
Price
If
it
you
high.
don't
Yeah.
want if
Mhm.
you don't want your dick being shown, or you don't want your dick being leaked, or you don't want your pussy being leaked, price it worth what you think your body is worth, you know.
Yes.
You know, there might be a chance that not as many people will pay for it, but the people that it is worth it to will pay for it. And that's what matters.
They
If
will
you
pay
don't
for
want
it and they will protect it too.
yeah. And so if you don't want your stuff having that chance, pricing it a little bit higher is going to give you more of a chance of not having that leaked. And then just making sure that like you don't call attention to it is really one of the big things. And then if you do have it, then contacting who you need to. And then even if it is a bad leak, you can contact a lawyer yourself and have them send out stuff. Obviously, that is going to cost money. But if it's your body, if it's they're stealing lots of content from you, it's gonna
It's
be worth
violating.
it in the end. It's
Yeah.
violating. It doesn't feel good.
Mhm.
It's like someone breaking into your car, you know.
Mm.
So, like, there's ways to go about it, but then also recognizing that there's a chance that it can happen, and finding ways to protect yourself beforehand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chat, there is a downside to pricing yourself too low, and it's this. So be careful.
Yeah,
Yep.
like my $5 tier is VTubing VODs only. Everything else either has an additional cost or is at a higher tier.
Yeah.
Or is at a higher tier with an additional cost because it's, again, like IRL, like 2-person full fucking extravaganza. Like, you know, like I'm less worried about me and more worried about the people I'm collabing with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely.
That makes sense.
like, especially if they themselves have not signed up for like all of this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had a friend of mine who is not out about doing OnlyFans for their, because they are a say so VTuber. And this is completely separate. And frankly, they even tried going through OnlyFans to be like sending them notices, and the site was like based in Romania or some shit like that. And they didn't listen, and they're still up there, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so irritating.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. Anything that's based in Russia and Romania,
Liechtenstein.
there are places that the U.S. like we can't do anything about it. They'll just say, "Haha, fuck you."
Basically, yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
and a lot of those leak sites come through those countries. Unfortunately, so that's when you have to kind of go more the lawyer route and find out if that's something that would be worth you spending the money for. You know.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, like, obviously, price your content, people, because there are consequences to that. I don't want to scare anybody, but like, if you are using it as a growth strategy and pricing it low, know that not everybody looking at it has your best intentions in mind. And there a lot of people have very negative like feelings about loot creators, but still consume loot content, and those are the people that will put it up online. You know.
Yeah.
100%.
My prices
Yeah.
are actually very low, so like this is making me think.
You
Might
give
be
them
time
an
to
inch,
up
they'll
them.
take a mile.
Yeah, because like
You know, I
I-
was worried when I upped my prices that people wouldn't want to pay them, and people totally understood. Like they were totally fine with it. I went up like $5 on my main tier from 15 to 20, and I was like,
Oh.
"Listen, I'm doing a sale for the first week or the first 2 weeks or whatever, so it's the same price, but after that it's going up to 20 because of
I charge like
various reasons."
5.
And people were very chill.
Yeah.
Get that bag.
Mystique, yeah, bring that up to at least 10. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say that's where I
Well,
keep
you can
mine
have
at.
a $5 tier. I have a $5 tier, but it's just my VODs, nothing IRL. Obviously, Misty, you don't have to worry about that. And then I have I have VR photo sets available on my $5 tier because first of all, if my VR photos get leaked, that's not necessarily as big of a deal to me.
Yeah, because it's an avatar.
It's an avatar. If anything, I can use that as like advertisement. Like maybe they'll like what they see and they'll come buy my
Yeah.
actual stuff. But so my VR photos, and then I have some audios that are available, but like not very often do they get audios. But other than that, I have a $10 tier that kind of is more BDSM based, but again, the only thing that I post in those $10 tiers is VR content. So they will get full VR videos, but it's still a VR avatar. So you
Yeah.
can price a little bit lower, Mystique, for you because you are doing VR stuff. If you're doing like photo sets like you are, or like little like maybe less explicit audios and stuff. So like there are ways for you to do lower tiered stuff if you're okay with the idea of them like possibly being leaked. But like since you aren't showing yourself, you don't have to worry as much at like making like charging obviously if you're gonna do like hardcore porn
Oh,
videos with your
yeah.
avatar, like charging more for those, but like the light lewd stuff for VR photos and stuff, like there's a time and a place.
Yes. I mean, I do hardcore kind of VR videos, and I do
Yes,
very
yeah.
explicit sort of fully folied audios as well, which like I literally charge $5, and there's an $8 tier which doesn't come with anything extra. It's just like, hey, if you want to give me some extra money.
Then you
So
definitely
yeah,
should
maybe
get
maybe I should change that up.
Yeah. Yeah, so like you gotta act defensively because it's pervasive and people don't like sex workers and they have no problem dehumanizing us and leaking our stuff, basically. Even if they liked it, even if they fapped to it, you know?
Kind of going back on like the very beginning that we were talking about, like what you have to be willing to accept as a sex worker, like this is something that has been it's a scary place to enter into. And you have to realize that, like, yes, it is so much more mainstream and accepted now and will be here forever no matter what the government does to us.
And it's
we've
been here
always
forever.
been here.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been here, but you have to realize that there is a safety aspect to it that you are kind of not necessarily giving up, but you have to protect yourself in a lot more ways than you would necessarily think if you were just doing regular content.
Yeah,
Because
people assume
are
that
scary.
we've given up our body autonomy by being public with like our bodies, and like that's just not the case.
Yeah, it's not how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sexual subject versus sexual object, isn't it?
Yes.
And sexual past participle as well. Dangling. Anyway.
Yeah, but you have to pay for that.
Yeah, that shit
proper
costs extra.
conjugation.
Yes.
That'll be $10, please.
Yeah, $5 tier for the dangling participle.
That's what I'm calling it from now on.
$10 for tip.
All right, I've got one final question here to wrap things up. It's about body positivity. For everyone that does IRL content, especially. Do you consider yourself a body positivity icon? How would you feel if you heard that from another creator?
Yep.
Okay, say more words. Fill it out for me.
The answer's just yes. No,
Yes.
That's all you get.
No, I from the get-go wanted to promote body positivity, and because I hated myself for a long time. I was bullied as a kid. I've been in a lot of relationships where I was, I literally had an ex tell me that I'm not sexy, I'm cute. So I've had a lot of,
those words.
I've had a lot of emotional damage, and I kind of started to take that back when I started VTubing and making Podge look like me and realizing that people enjoy that. And like, thank you Midna from Zelda for showing me that people like short stacks, because I didn't even know that was a thing. And that was the first time I ever saw like my body type represented in like anything. So I make a huge point of being very body positive, and it doesn't matter what you look like. We can all be sexy in our own way, and it's a very, very, very important aspect of what I do.
I'm Googling Midna from Zelda. I see. Okay.
Yeah. I think I don't post IRL stuff, so I'm just going to talk, even though I'm not necessarily part of the demographic for answering the question. I think it's also important to realize that body positivity is a journey. It's not a destination. And people can be body positive and still not be able to apply it to themselves, still have issues with loving themselves. And I think that it's important to be open about the journey as well as being at the destination. And it's great if you are at the destination, but it's also important to be open about your journey and to start changing the way that you speak about yourself, and letting people letting people see you lead by example, even if you sort of aren't all the way there yet. And like I've cried on this show, like talking about my body image issues. In fact, Andy was on that episode, and like the second that happened, like all three women, it was Andy and Kara and I think Susie. I didn't know these ladies, like, and all of them were in my DMs being like, "You're a beautiful soul. Like I've seen your work," and like building me up, and that's something that will live with me forever.
Frank agrees.
Yes.
Hi,
Thank you, Frank.
Good boy.
Frank the pug.
Yeah, no, I the thing with like negative self-talk, whether you're a loot creator or not, is that it has a harmful effect on everyone around you and your community.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Because self-abuse is still abuse.
Right.
And that's something that
Yep.
I had to learn.
It's a very difficult
We are not
thing
allowed to
internalize.
self-deprecate in my chat.
Yes. Yeah.
Not even as a treat. None of it.
Not as a
Not
treat.
even
No.
as a treat. No.
No treats.
No treat.
I'll definitely say I remember when I first started making like content creation, like I very much like used to like like cover up a whole lot because like I've always just had perpetual dad bod and like like I just never really gave a crap about myself because like for like many years I was like bullied, so I definitely they agree. Like obviously now in some of my life I've told myself I've done so many things to like make myself like look better in some of my own eyes. But like I remember when I first started doing content creation, I was just like, no one would ever want to see me like that. And then like
Right.
I have people in my DMs like, you should try. You might do good. And then I was just like, all right, let's see how this goes. And then like it just started like flooding like, okay, I can start to feel good about myself now. Cause I used to have just tons of body dysmorphia. Like I'm just like, no, I look too chubby. I don't like it just doesn't my body doesn't look the way I want it to look. And
therefore
know,
it's
like-
bad.
yeah, exactly. But like someone out there wants it.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, as a connoisseur of beards, dad bods, and body hair, there's a reason you come up on my timeline a lot on TikTok. You come up on my For You quite often because the algorithm knows. The algorithm knows what I like.
We like it.
There's definitely a demographic, and like I'll say it, and I've always said it. Dad bods are hot, like.
It just took
And
a
anyone
long
who says
time
otherwise
for me
is
to
wrong.
realize that was the thing that people liked.
Yeah. And you get that thing as well where you see other people with your body type and you can think that they're attractive, but you can't apply it to yourself.
Yep.
That's something I struggle with. But like, yeah, plus size sex workers being online and showing themselves off has helped my confidence enormously.
So I actually, before I became a VTuber, I started doing IRL content on OnlyFans. And at that point, I had never really been with someone that appreciated my body or appreciated me really at all sexually. And so when I started it, I was like, I'm kind of doing this for me. I don't think anyone's going to pay for me. Like, I don't think anyone's going to even like my content or whatever. And I started posting, and I quickly realized that, I was a little bit curvier and I was a lot heavier when I first started too. And people really do like all different types of bodies, and it's not like what the media shows. So that made me start being more comfortable. And the funny thing is, I kind of went backwards and then became an anime girl after I started IRL content. But I didn't become an anime girl. I didn't start doing VR content because I didn't care to show myself. I just felt, I mean, why would you not want to be an anime girl? Like with
Oh,
bunny
totally.
ears and
100%. That's my
with
next
big
goal is
titties,
become
like-
an anime girl.
but like
With a beard and a dad bod.
Exactly.
Yes. But and then throughout the last 5-6 months, I've been going through a lot of like really drastic changes, and I have lost quite a bit of weight. And so I've kind of gone the opposite direction where like I've had people always like compliment me and praise me for the way my body is looking currently and the amount of weight that I've lost. And it's been really difficult for me because I was someone that was very comfortable in my curves and in the weight that I was, and I liked the body that I worked so hard to get myself to like the body that I had. And now I'm very different compared to, and I didn't lose that weight in a way that I necessarily would have been proud of because of just like mental health issues and stuff. And so it's been a big struggle for me to feel comfortable physically in my body um on the opposite end of the spectrum, which is a very strange feeling. So I've been like trying really hard to remember to like be nice to myself and like be positive, and like having my community tell me like that I'm beautiful anytime I've posted things, or like I posted that video on Twitter, and like the amount of people that were like, wow, Andy, you look amazing, like in not like a your weight loss has been amazing, but you yourself are amazing.
You
That
are
is
amazing.
really thank you. That has been really really great. And so like while I don't necessarily like tote body positivity, I tote positivity, I guess. Like everyone is beautiful for themselves, and to me, like as a pansexual demisexual person, like it's all about the inside for me no matter what anyway. So like I guess I'm just always telling people that they're beautiful no matter what they look like. So I guess yes, I am body positive, but at the same time, like it's just positive. I just like people. Everyone's pretty.
Yeah. I mean, body positivity isn't just for plus size people. Everybody deserves to
yes.
feel
Yes.
comfortable in their own skin and to love the vehicle that their brain resides in. Everybody should deserves to like their flesh envelope.
Absolutely. There are times where I'm like,
Flesh
okay, let's not
envelope.
go too hard on like we love dad bods, because skinny guys deserve love too.
Yeah.
Muscular
All-
guys
all
work very hard
bodies.
in their physiques. Like they deserve that
Yeah.
love too sometimes. Don't
All bodies are
overcompensate.
good bodies.
You know?
We just like people.
Yeah.
And like if I had told my like 16-year-old bulimic self that like I would be at the heaviest that I've sort of ever been, at the heaviest point of my life so far, and I would have a loving husband who adores me, married for 15 years, 2 long-term partners, and have a career in sex work. Like I wouldn't have believed myself, but here we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. For
Ah,
real.
thank you. Sorry.
Sorry.
I didn't mean to make that about me. I'm
The
sorry.
most
No,
British
make it
response.
about
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Thank you for your applause. Sorry for being alive.
Like
No.
everyone has the capacity to be hot, and I've said on my streams too, the most unsexy thing you can do is talk about yourself in a bad way.
Yes.
That is what's unattractive. Is hating yourself and then hating yourself for attention.
Yep.
Yes.
100%.
Like
if I tell
so
you you're hot and then you say, "No, I'm ugly," be like, "Bitch, what did I just say?"
I'm like, shut the fuck fuck up.
Take the fucking compliment right now.
And like I struggled with that for a long time. I still struggle with taking compliments because I feel like
big
people
one.
are lying to me.
Yes.
Like
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I read somewhere that a compliment is like a gift. And if someone gave you a gift, you wouldn't just give it back to them, right? If someone like
yeah.
gave you a present, you wouldn't be like, "Oh my God, no, take it back." So yeah, you're taking an intention
Like
That.
my
with a
therapist
compliment.
said to me, because that was one of my biggest things, was like not being able to take compliments. And my therapist said, like, next time someone gives you a compliment, just say thank you.
Yeah,
You don't have to say anything else. Just say thank you. Whether you mean it or not, eventually you will mean it.
that was part of my recovery,
Mhm.
was learning to just say thank you and
Yep.
take the intention that is the gift of the compliment.
Dragon's Bear in chat's asking, what's the proper response to a compliment? If make you flustered,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
go ahead.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get it. I
that
also
makes
I also
Even
struggle
if you
with
don't
this.
agree.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I
Thank
struggle
thank
with
you.
this,
Like
and
that makes
then
me feel happy.
also I struggle with
Sorry.
over complimenting. Also, like just love bombing sometimes can be a lot.
you.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I do that. I'm bad at that. I want to give everyone all my love all the time.
Yeah.
Keep it in. Keep it
Yeah.
in.
At that point, I'm like, how do I hold all these compliments?
You're getting
My
every
body's
single
not big
compliment I
enough.
have.
Too much love to give.
Oh no!
It's
Don't
like
compliment me, woo.
Comflation, but for compliments.
Compflation.
Conflation,
Oh
yes.
my god.
God, we always make so many new words on each episode.
We really should just
New
have a
kink.
t-shirt company.
Yeah.
New kink unlocked.
I have a womb full of compliments.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes. Fill me with your
Sorry.
compliments,
I
daddy.
So I did
shoot your compliments into me. Sorry.
no, you are fine. I did sort of want to ask Josh too, though. Like, Josh, how do you feel if a creator like would come to you and say that you're a positivity role model for themselves?
How do I feel if somebody like comes to me and I'm like affirming for them?
Yes.
I take that as just to get a huge compliment that like I was able to like make someone feel so much better about themselves. Like I have some like people in my comments who are just like I've always like kind of like they've always like felt like uncomfortable with like their chubbiness and stuff like that, or like they're like that bod, and then me posting like my lewds on like Twitter and stuff like that is like giving them a lot more confidence to like do the same or feel better about themselves. And like I think it's wonderful. I think it's beautiful if I can ever like make someone like feel better in any of those ways.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I will say, when I saw your content, when I came across your content, I immediately went to Mystique like, I have to talk to him.
Yeah, you did.
I have to talk to this
I
man.
really
You
need
both
to
have
speak
so
to
much
this guy.
insight.
Because we've got similar body types, and like I'm so like I admire you so much, honestly, dude. Like you've got so much fucking confidence and like
Pizzazz.
pizzazz.
It's
Yeah.
over years and years of constantly doing this stuff.
And it's great to hear that because it takes a while, you know.
It does. It really does. Like I just remember when I first started doing content, like I was so nervous, like all the time. I'm like, what if people don't accept me for doing like this or this or that? Like, is someone gonna be weirded out if I was to put my thigh highs on and like my like maid outfit or something, hypothetically, when I first started like doing like lewd-esque content.
Excuse
Like,
me, I'm about to have a breakdown. You said the secret word.
yeah, like when I first started doing like lewd-esque content, like somebody had like ordered me like thigh highs, and I'm like, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is gonna work. And like trial and error, I did it, and I was like, oh, maybe I should be a little more body positive myself. People really like all of this.
Yeah, sex work can be extremely affirming
So affirming.
Mhm.
as well.
Like, yeah, my booty is fine.
Yeah, I can be an
It sure
attractive
is,
Asian guy.
Absolutely.
Also,
Absolutely.
yeah. There is nobody like me, and frankly. Like, if I'm gonna be the first, I'm gonna be the first. Fuck it.
100%.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, this has
Yeah,
been
blaze that trail, baby.
blaze it, wax it, get it lasered off.
Put a nose
Whatever
on
you
it,
want.
make it an honor hole.
But yeah, this has been the Devs Podcast, episode 42, The Art of Taking Good Lewds. I hope that if you're listening to this, you've learned a thing or two from our awesome creators about loving yourself, pricing your content, and just sort of getting out there if you do want to pursue this, because it's a great space. It's a very affirming space. It can be dangerous, especially these days, but in the end, if you're mentally prepared for all of the challenges, it can really benefit you in so many ways. I'm going to give our guests an opportunity to do some plugs and tell us what they have going on over the next couple of weeks, months, and so on. Start with Podge. What have you got going on? Give some plugs.
I am going to be. Oh gosh, what am I doing? So many things in the next week and a half because I'm going to be away getting married at the end of November.
That's exciting.
So soon, holy shit!
I can't believe it's so quick.
But also, I'll be with Gedden for, November and December. So we're going to be making a lot of content
Well,
together.
you're marrying him, so I would hope so.
Well, yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be some nuptial content. But I'm also going to be part of a thing coming up called Vocal Pyre, which is a music and singing competition. So I'm really, really excited for that. It starts on November 15th, and I'm really excited. And I hope you guys are excited for it too, because it's going to be really cool. But yeah, there's going to be lots and lots of spicy content coming out in the next little while. And as usual, the regular ASMR here on Twitch. And I'm debuting on YouTube next week.
Ooh, wow.
On Wednesday.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm finally
regular
doing it.
videos or streaming?
Streaming. I'm actually going to try streaming on YouTube next week. So we're going to do some karaoke.
I have a lot of mods in chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna need a lot of mods. But
Yeah.
yeah. No, dude, Podge, like, it's insane to me. Like, we've had you on a couple of times, and just to see you, like, your life progress, and like, holy shit,
Yeah.
you're getting married now. Like, fuck.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
I'm so happy for you. So proud of you.
Yeah, Gedden's pretty great. Shout out to Gedden.
Pretty great.
Yeah,
It's pretty fucking
from the
great.
Polly episode to now. And Polly was like episode, what, 13?
Way back. in the
Somewhere
day,
around
yeah.
there? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like,
Yeah, I've always been pretty public about my life, I guess.
yeah, a little bit. No, but honestly, it's such a privilege to have you on the show. Like, for real.
Thank
you
you.
so
I'm
much.
always so excited when you invite me.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Guys, go check Podge out. Next up, Josh, what do you got going on?
Well, so for the last like couple months, like it's actually been like hard for me to make content. So like for the next few months, it's like me like kind of like coming back to doing like a lot more stuff that I used to, like doing like collabs on streams and stuff like that. But I have like no particular like huge projects, but I am probably gonna be doing a lot more like photo sets kind of like soon and stuff like that, which I think is gonna be like super duper fun. Because I wasn't able to do anything this past month for like Halloween or anything like that,
Oh, yeah.
which was so unfortunate because a lot of my content's like, oh, mask content. I haven't been able to do anything. So hopefully over the next like month or two, I'm actually gonna be able to release like a ton more like ASMR like type of videos where I'm using like my mask content and doing just more of that kind of stuff, and actually like trying to do a lot more like on Twitch and streaming. And that's really all for me, to be honest. I have nothing really like crazy, like big coming up for me.
I will say it's always pros and valleys with like online content, especially when you work. I work too. I
Mhm.
get it. Gets busy.
Yeah.
But dude, like, it's been such a treat to talk to you and get to like, just have you up there reacting and stuff. Like, it's probably one of the most fun
Yeah.
I've had in these episodes.
Yeah,
Honestly.
like it was so
Except for
dynamic.
Dodge
Please
Days.
come back.
We
Please come
should-
back many,
we
many
should have
times.
Flesh tubers on more often.
I'd love to come back. This was a whole lot of fun. I was excited to meet all of you. This has been such a fun experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh, you're an inspiration. You're a force of nature, and you're fucking fantastic. Thank you so
Why,
much.
thank you.
Next up, Andy, what you got going on?
Well, so right after this, I'm gonna be switching over to VR and spicy site, so I'll be live there.
Fuck
And
yeah.
then and then I do every week ASMR on Twitch, and then I do my weekly Fansly streams as well. And then that's about it. I'm doing a fun stream tomorrow on Mr. Goog's page. Sorry, I forgot. I was like, whose page is it gonna be
Yeah,
on
Mr.
again?
Goog.
We're gonna do like a hear me out case.
Oh yeah, I'm in that too.
Oh, Andrew's gonna be in it too. Yeah, we're gonna do hear me outs, and that's gonna be fun. But other than that, it's just the lewd stuff and then my normal stuff. I'm
Which
Andy
is great.
Bun or Andy
Andy
Bun
is
on
great.
everything.
Andy, such a treat.
I'm
we've
getting
had you
all
on a couple of
pixelated.
times.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
I don't know what's happening. Sorry,
You're fading away.
It's phasing out.
No, Andy,
She's behind the paywall. We have to pay to get like full
Yeah.
res Andy.
Yeah.
Where's my wallet?
Yeah, it's getting too close to my stream time. It's paywall time.
He's disintegrating behind the paywall.
Andy, it's been such a treat as always. Thank you again for stepping in for this episode. I really do appreciate it. And in addition, just like I know you've gone through a fucking whole lot recently, and like it's such a joy to see you come out on the other end of it. Like,
thank you. I appreciate that.
you're awesome, and I appreciate you.
No, you. Thank you.
Last but not least, Lady Mystique. What you got going on?
Hey, I'm last but not least Lady Mystique, aka Shut Up, why won't the pink one shut up? I haven't got anything immediately on the horizon. I will be doing a Dummy Mummy collab with Yuki Trap from the VR episode. It's shooting next week, so that's going to be fun. Also, the new model is almost complete. The angel is done. The demon disappeared after I clicked to compile and build, so I'm going to have to do all of that all over again. But once that's done, I will be debuting a new model, which will also be in VR, so I will have a consistent model across all of the platforms. LadyMystique.tv if you want to see any of my content, and please check all of these panelists out because they are all fucking incredible.
Thank you very much, Mystique. As always, thank you so much for co-hosting and doing this with me. You do not talk too much. And
Not
you
enough.
are
Just
always
enough.
just enough. No, but like I so much genuinely appreciate you. Like, thank you for helping me bounce these ideas off, allaying my my tension when I'm like, oh, I'm gonna DM this Josh guy and hope he says yes, for example. So
Yeah.
like, you help so much both behind the scenes and on the show, so I really do appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you too.
Yeah. And I'm your host, Atramentum_X, Fire streamer and YouTuber. You can find all my links on atramentum.ink. That's atramentum.inc. Today's episode is part of a two-part series. Tomorrow we'll be back again for a second episode in a row, episode 43, Non-Stop Nut, keeping people engaged with your Fansly and OnlyFans content.
What a name. That's so good.
Yeah, so
we have
this
so
is
much fun thinking up the names for these
so much fun.
episodes.
So yeah, it's going to be very much about like getting people to continuously engage with the content, getting some like longevity behind your content and things like that, basically. So I'm going to leave you off here. We'll play the video again for both this episode and the next episode, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a lovely night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good
Bye,
night, everybody.
Mama.
Bye.
Hey, everyone.
That's the wrong one.
Ken might be able to. it's okay. We definitely shouldn't like insult chat and talk about like how we think they're like stinky faces and stuff.
Oh, you guys let your cats? What?
All of cat is stinky.
Not as sticky as me though. I'm pretty stanky. Yeah. People pay for that quality stank.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Next time.